Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel for another video with your boy, the Explorer. Divine justice, y'all. That's what I want y'all to pray for, because that is what follows you, leads you, protects you, walks with you, and carries you when you can't walk no more, if you are the truth. If you are the truth, you have nothing to worry about, because you are, regardless, blood in, blood out, you're the truth. And that's what you want to live by, because that's what you want your legacy to be. And that's it. Everything else is secondary. Your relationship with the Lord and you being the truth. That's mainly what, those are number one, and a number two thing that you need to do or need to be. You need to be. It's not something that you do, it's you being. That means to say that you don't wear a mask and you're not a skinwalker. You're not going to jump into somebody else's energy and put it on like a suit. But also, when you're a person that's not the truth, but you want to make change, first you have to be who you are. And then you will be able to see what needs to be corrected and why. And part of the problem with the narcissist is they are always walking a fantasy, a lie, an illusion. And maybe some of them do want to change. But for the change to start to take place, first you have to be who you are. And then you will have your intuition come back, because it will tell you from all the people around you how crappy you are, and you will start to make change. That's my opinion of it, because you can't make change until you are your authentic self. But you have to start. Your healing comes from whatever. Let's say if you're a toxic person or you're partially toxic. We'll just talk about toxic enabler. Your truth comes from whatever pieces of you that are the truth that you operate in. What you want to do is expand that into your whole life. So as you walk in those pieces of truth, because that's all you are right now, you may only be so much truth, 50% truth, 60% truth, 80% truth. But if you want to walk in your authentic true self, then you need to at least walk in that 50, 60, 70, 80% truth, so that your intuition will start to guide you on how to make correction to be 100% true. What the narcissist does is they may want to be true, but they'll just build more lies and illusions to mask the truth and never walk in truly what they are. But that's where change starts, because they know how ugly they are. But true healing starts when you accept who you are, even if you're the worst person in the world, and start to walk in that. Because what you'll find is everything and everybody around you will start to correct you. They will start to have feelings about the way that you've been, and this will have effects on you. It's almost like, instead of getting this negative reaping, or what the world calls karma, in this whiplash effect, like this boomerang effect, you'll be getting it right away, because you're walking in your authentic self, even if you're evil. And what it will do will cause change, real change, instead of the illusion of change. Because you'll be like, yo, I want to correct that, because that person that I was good friends with, they don't like me anymore. Well, they don't like you anymore because you're walking in your true self, and your true self is pretty crappy. But it will be a true answer to what you're doing to people in your surroundings. And it will cause you to want to make change because of the repercussions. A lot of times when you get repercussions from the boomerang effect or the whiplash effect, you can't pinpoint where you're getting negative reaping or karma from, because it's been a while. That's why if you walk in whatever true authentic self you are, even if you're bad, you're going to make change, because the correction from those individuals, the balancing of the scales happens right away. which forces somebody to make judgment calls based on that, which will get you in more of your authentic self. You see, that's what heals, and that's what brings true change, because you're seeing that when you act and operate in this negative part of you, and you do it on a daily basis, you see the repercussions because people will call you out for it. But when you build an illusion, you still get your negative reaping or your karma, but it comes later. It could be 3 months down the road. You get hit for something, but it's an accumulation of the things you did 3 months ago. Now, that's because you were doing bad things under an illusion. But now, the problem with that is you don't have the opportunity to have a realization on exactly the things that you were doing bad. Now, you knew what you were doing when you did it. You knew that it was evil when you did it. But when you get the swift correction, it will cause you to make a swift change. And I think that's what the problem is today. People walk in illusions. They walk in the shell of who they are, this image, this mask, and they cloak themselves in other people's energy. And then by the time that negative reaping comes, they may not even believe in it. They just may believe they're coming on hard times just out of reality, not because they got caught for doing something in the spirit, and these are repercussions from what you did in the past, but just out of circumstance. But that's not the case, because circumstance could be horrible. Your world around you can be horrible and you could be doing great. That's because you're covered. And you're covered when you walk in truth. And when you walk in your true authentic self, it'll bring you closer to the Almighty, because that was your original state of being. It's your natural state of being. So it should draw you closer to God as you draw closer to truth, because that is the character of God. When you walk in the character of God truly and authentically, it will have to draw you closer to God. And if you walk in your true authentic self, whether you're good or evil, you'll get swift justice that will come your way, because if you're evil, it'll come because you will see it in front of your face that you're not treating people right, and they will show you and tell you, and you will make change because you don't want to be foolish. So walk in your authentic self. Be you, whoever you are. And the problem is you can't heal childhood wounds when you're walking in an illusion. And you're only walking or build an illusion out of pain and hurt you went through, maybe. But that's not an excuse at some point. At some point, you have to continue to reject goodness and be a coward, or you have to accept who you are and be on a pathway to make change. And through that authenticity, it will cause you to get swiftly judged and to take swift action to make change, to correct it, because it's going to affect your life and you're not going to like it. But the narcissist builds more illusion, more illusion. It's like a Big Mac. It's like they take the bread and then they put a patty on. That's the first lie. Then they put a piece of cheese on. That's the double down on the lie. And then they'll put some lettuce on there, and they'll put the special sauce and then another patty. These are all lies, covering up the other lies. And there's no healing in that. In fact, that compounds the pain and the hurt that you're trying to cover up. That's how illusions get built. But I'm not here to justify the hurt, because that's not the way to justify it. That ends up damaging everybody around you, and then it will come back, and that boomerang will devastate and destroy you as the evildoer. So this is my message for today. I hope it helps somebody out there. Love y'all. Till next time, Soul Jub. Peace be out. Divine justice is here.